Hey guys, it is our second week. We are so excited to be kind of pouring over that Brittany Howard podcast, the LeadHERship podcast. It's week 2, and I'm going to get the exact verbiage of what we're talking about here really quickly. It is being a leader that people want to follow. And I personally love her content. I disagreed with something she said. I can't wait to get into it just a little bit later, but I absolutely loved it. And we're curious to see what you guys think too. I love how she started out, really talking about what it is to be a leader that people would follow. I'm going to mute. Sorry. I was muting that. And it really, these episodes are so short. Okay. But very packed with a lot of information and a lot of thought points that, I feel like if we're using this podcast opportunity where we're really thinking about it, we're going to change or do a check in our spirit, or we're going to see where our holes are in our leadership. Everybody has holes in their leadership. No matter who you are, you have a blind spot. Okay. Some of us have more blind spots than others because we're going up through the ranks. And just understand that that's normal. It is absolutely normal to listen to podcasts like this and think, okay, I maybe am kind of crummy at that, or you know what? I'm really killing it at that. That's a natural ability for me. And, I love that about myself. I love that about what I offer. Let this not only check you where you need to grow, but breathe belief into you that you're doing good things, that you are offering great leadership to your people, and that leadership is a skill that can be expanded upon. Okay. Leadership is something you can grow. Your lid can increase. What cannot change, right, is a negative mindset can change, right? But, this is a skill. So just know that something that, you're going to really need to harness is that ability to think on purpose. Leanne, do you want to kick us off with, and I have notes too. I know we both do. I'm letting people in. I kind of feel like distracted. So I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay. So let's get into this and let's talk about what she says the most important thing that people will look at for you in a leader that they would be willing to follow is what? Results. Mm-hmm. She said people want to see results. And here and truly, results.
Recording in progress.
Results is going to increase your influence, right? We talked last week about a few things, just to recap. If you missed last week, you can go ahead and get the recording and things like that. But she talked about increasing influence and adding value to individuals last week. And how do you add value to people? And what are they looking for? Having a positive mindset. People are going to be attracted to that. And all of those things, having a vision. So that's what we talked about last week. And you can go back and you can have a quick look at that. But people are going to want to follow a leader that gets results. Right? That just makes sense. We don't want to partner up. We personally don't want to partner up with somebody. If I am going to be coached by somebody, or I am going to say, hey, teach me how to golf, and I'm going to go out and have the blind lead the blind, am I going to go out and have somebody that's never played golf before teach me how to play golf? No. I'm going to go out and I'm going to have somebody who is at least one step ahead of me. And that's what she talks about that in here as well. I want somebody that has done something. They have at least gone a little bit further. They're one day farther than I am. They just need to be a little step ahead. So you don't have to be that expert individual, right? She said producing results does not mean that you have to be an expert. It doesn't mean that you have to earn, 6 figures. Doesn't mean that you have to be in the thousands of dollars that you're earning it. But have you had your products paid for before? Okay, then you can share that. Have you had results on your products? Well, you can share that. You can be a leader in that, of showing people how to get results on your products. You can be a leader in showing people how to get your products paid for. So this is not talking about somebody who has earned all the thousands of dollars, earned all the trips, earned all of that or anything like that. That's great. And yes, people will want to follow as you increase your results and you increase your influence, but you have to be producing personal results, because you can't take someone where you haven't gone, right? You
Yes.
can't take someone where you haven't gone. It's just the same. If you're going to learn a new skill, you want somebody that knows that skill. And so you've got to have personal results, and we always have to be developing those. People are going to look at you. If you're a leader and you sit back in retirement mode and bark orders and expect people on your team to do things that you're not doing, how does that make us feel? Let's open it up right there. I'd love to hear, a couple comments. Maybe you've had a situation like that before. Maybe you've been in a job position where you've had an employer that is maybe a micromanager or somebody who barks orders, but they're not doing the things or whatever. How does it make you feel?
I want to say this too. If you follow John Maxwell, this is like what she's describing is a positional leader, right? Somebody who is in that position and they're your leader, but it's not really jiving right for you. They're not earning that follow with their influence. It's just because of where the position they're in. So, if you are interested in learning more about that, please look into his comments on that. But agreed. Does anyone have anything with this?
Anyone have anything they want to share there?
I will call on my team. So,
Okay.
Okay, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, I'm just going to be totally transparent here. I was the leader in this example here. I was 16 years old and worked at the Dairy Queen in my hometown here. And I had one of the employees go off on me one day. She said, "You don't do all the things that a normal shift leader does. Like, you need to do more." And so she cussed at me, and it was just a bad deal. But that totally, put me into perspective. I was like, oh, yeah, maybe I should do more, so. Yeah.
To Stevie's point, modeling is a huge piece of this, you guys. Modeling is the way to go. My dad, I grew up hearing don't ever ask somebody to do something you're not willing to do. And it was ingrained into my brain, you guys. Does anyone else have any experience with this that you want to share?
Okay. What keeps your team inspired? We'll keep moving here.
Hang
What
on,
keeps your team
this
inspired?
too, Leanne, I want to say this too, I want to really draw out the fact too, that this is why we talk about our accomplishments on social media. Okay. Because people need to understand that you're the person to follow. They need to understand that you know where to go, that you can take them to another level. And I understand how we can sometimes make judgments or decide what people are going to believe about what is happening, or that, they just want to be excited for us. We live in this microcosm of Plexus where, oh, well, I, didn't get the top one, but I only got the 5th level prize. Regular people don't freaking know. I want you to understand. They don't know. We're in the microcosm of where we're like, oh, so-and-so swept it 42 times. She's got all these accounts. Not real. Okay. I want you to understand that if you are going to do a major service to the people in your network, you're going to talk about what you're doing, because just like Leanne said, they can't go there if you don't go first. That's how it is, right? That is the deal. That is the way, especially with this company, that's the way the comp plan is laid out, not comp plan, but that's the way that it works, right? You boldly walk ahead and you tell people about what you've done. I want to just say that we've got to put our pride aside and our judgments about what other people are going to think about what we do aside. And we have to let them be inspired by us. because we might be unfortunately serving the 3 people that are never going to get it, right? The ones talking about us, oh, she's doing that, da, da, da. But there's that one person in the corner, you guys, just dripping, waiting to see what you're doing because they freaking need it. They can't pay their bills. They desperately need a vacation. They need to believe in themselves. Okay. So really, I want you to just step out and be a vessel. So I'm sorry, I was on a soapbox with that because we just did all those announcements about everything everyone is accomplishing. And I want you to be freaking proud of it. Like, we don't have to hide behind modesty. This isn't the space for that. This is the space to show people, you know where you're going and you're going to take them with you. You are taking them with you. You're available. Go ahead. Sorry, I got it.
Can I take you to church for a minute? Okay. I'm
Yes.
not really asking for permission. I'm just going to do it. Okay.
Yes.
And so I just want to declare that we break that chain over your mind right now, because I believe that there's people on this call right now, that there is a mindset that is blocking you from being like, yeah, okay, I have to hide in my modesty. I have to be humble, because that's a godly trait and a characteristic. Now, I'm not saying to be prideful, okay? I'm saying, yes, you can operate in humility, but here's the thing. There is a chain around your mind that wants to hold you back, and it's holding you back from success that God specifically has for each and every one of you. So we break that mindset right now in Jesus' name. We take authority over it. And I just declare freedom over you in Jesus' name. I declare freedom over your mindset right now. I declare freedom to be able to operate freely in the gifts and the talents that you have been bestowed upon, that God has given you, and all of this success. See, He has ordered your steps to succeed so that you can lead others to freedom. But here's the thing: freely I have received, so freely I will give. And so what I have received freely, I will give to others, and I will walk them through where they have not been. See, because you can't take someone where you haven't been before. And so where I have walked, I will take somebody there, and I will take them there freely. And if I have earned my products for free, I will help somebody else earn their products for free. Okay. And you have the ability and the gift to do that. If I have earned a trip, then I'm going to help somebody else earn the next trip. And see, you have gifts and talents and seeds of greatness on the inside of you, that the mindset of you saying, oh, I need to stay in modesty, I need to stay in humility, I need to stay behind closed doors, and I don't want to be pushed out front. See, that mindset is keeping you locked and bound. And so I declare freedom right now to operate in all of your gifts, all of your talents, and to take other people where you need to go. Amen.
This hashtag this, right? Hello. Yes. Okay. I love that. I love it.
Okay. So you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be an expert, right? But people need your belief. Do you believe, okay, one, in yourself? Do you believe that you're worthy? I feel like we're going to have more of a church session here tonight than of this, because I believe there's people on here that don't even think they're worthy of what they've received. Right. They don't even believe they're worthy to receive the Bloomingdale shopping spree. You know what? When I went on my first shopping spree, I was so overwhelmed with gratitude. I am not a crier. I am not any of that, but I got on that bus and there was a spirit of gratitude that came over me that I just started weeping. I was wiping the tears, and I was like, I can't even express the gratitude that came over me, just the overwhelm of that, the goodness of God, that He wants His daughters to succeed. Do we have any men on here? But he wants each and every one to succeed. But I see women on these screens, and He wants His daughters to succeed. Do you understand that you are a daughter of the King? And I don't know where your faith is at, but each one of you were created in the likeness of God. And so you were created as a daughter of the King. And He has good things for you. And He has great things for you. And Plexus is a tool and a vehicle that He's going to use to bless you. So you might as well just accept it or get off the train. Okay? Because there's good things being bestowed upon you. There's great things coming to you. And He wants you to receive it in its fullness. Another amen.
Amen.
Okay.
Right. And you nailed it. The belief so many times is in ourselves. That's lacking, right? It's not, and I want you to think, and obviously this is a different layer of this, but carrying that belief that you were brought here extremely purposefully, right? That it's not about this, about any skill that you need to refine, that you actually are a part of a grander plan, which we know is absolutely true. And just holding in that belief, like I'm here because I'm qualified, right? I'm not brought to anything unqualified. And if I need a skill, I will get it. But I don't need to look at everything that I feel like I'm missing, because I know that I don't have control, and I wouldn't even been brought here if I wasn't qualified. Right. And understanding that and resting in that belief that it's bigger than you. And I love that. So, I love where she goes into talking about trust. And I took my notes, and I've got my, I've got it pulled up on my screen, but I love when she walks into that trust, the subject of trust. And she really kind of transparently talks about, what would your team say that you value? And I love that. And we're not going to ever know, right? Because, first of all, we've got our judgments about what we think that, we're overthinking 24/7, right? We're like, they think I'm this, it sucks. Like, but they don't, just so you know. The way that you show up every single day is creating that blueprint, and the way that you're there is creating that blueprint. But I really, really loved it. And how she had us analyze our success. Are we more worried about our success or their success? Okay. And here is where I parted ways with her for just a second. I'm going to be very transparent. My team knows that I am like, if you don't boldly step out, they don't know where to go. So we will get to our goal by reverse engineering every single thing we do and working inside of our people and inspiring and vision casting. But I don't want you to keep yourself out of the equation. I love what she said about, analyzing, is it about your success or their success? And the truth is, it's both. Okay, because you can't be afraid to be successful. You literally cannot be afraid to be successful, because if you're afraid to be successful, you will not coach the same way. You will be afraid to look this way. They'll think this of me. I don't want to push. I've been there. I wrote the book. I have the t-shirt. I'm wearing the hat, not the real hat, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. What I want you to know is that you have to embrace the fact that you are ordained to success. You're on this call. It's a Monday. You could be anywhere. Understand that. You want to be right here. You are ordained for success. You are here to learn more skills and tools for success. And the way through, right, is to set a lofty goal for yourself and to reverse engineer that goal through providing the success of others, vision casting, and laying the groundwork and showing them how to walk the walk you already walked. This is all connected. But do not sleep on your success. Do not. That's all I wanted to say. And of course, I love where she's like, don't be emotionally attached. I felt like she was talking to me when we were talking about the emotionally attached to other people, like thing. I'm like, ooh, you're talking right to me. It's like, she was saying it specifically for me. But what did you think about that part, Leanne?
I think a lot of times we look at our team, and I wanted to kind of touch on this is that we feel like it is, she didn't say it this way, but it's a double-edged sword. We need our team to succeed, and we want our team to succeed in order for us to succeed. But at the same time, you have to go show them that you can succeed without them.
Yes.
Right? You kind of go like, wait a second. All right. And so she's talking about what's the best way to inspire your team is go get to work without them. Go show them that you're going to be, that your business is not dependent on their success, And that's where I think taking the responsibility and ownership of our business, a lot of the times we can nitpick and we can point fingers. Well, if they would work harder, if they had have done this at month end, if they had have, reached out to somebody, they were 2 orders away from ranking up. Why would they go to bed 2 hours before midnight? Like, I can't believe them. Like, all of those things, right? We say all of those things and everything, and we think that then that is a reflection of our leadership, and it's a reflection of our own success, which are both total lies. Okay. It's not a reflection of our leadership. We take ownership for our own business and ourselves. Okay. Everybody has to do that. And we take ownership for what we can control. Okay. I think that's a big thing is that we as women, any other, I'm not looking, but I'm looking, who's a control freak? Okay. Who has their hands on everything, who wants to have their hands on everything. And we have to learn primarily as women that we got to take our hands off, because we can't control other people. We can't control their actions. We take ownership for ourselves. And at the end of the day, you have to rest knowing that, hey, you left everything on the table. And you wake up the next morning and you say, I can pick everything up off that table now, and I can create excitement for May 1st, and I can pick up where I left off. And yesterday does not determine my today. And April does not determine my success in May, because I create my own success. I create my own urgency. I create my own, conversation, all of those things. A leader creates urgency. A leader creates excitement. A leader can communicate that to her team. And the best way to inspire her team is to know that she's working and she's creating her success. So that's my little tidbit on that.
And a lot of times we go into management mode. I don't know where everybody is with rank or whatnot, but as your team grows, you have to refine the skill of not being in management mode and staring at people that have brought you to this level and staring at them and being like, what are we going to do next? No. Right. And that can be something that we do because we just feel like we're in it with them. Right. There's a difference between being in the trenches and really waiting for action or mindset shifts or whatnot, and being in the trenches and developing and duplicating and finding new people that you can inspire. So totally believe that, just not waiting is such a beautiful thing. And I want to mention this too. I have some leaders that are sometimes always worried about, like, there's not going to be enough of me. Like, I can't, I don't want to go out and get all these extra things to do, because that is a scarcity mindset that needs to be put to bed. You have absolutely enough reserves to handle everything that's brought to you. Okay.
And you can hire people that then can help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just agree with that scarcity mentality of holding back your leadership, holding back your success, which, what is that rooted in? You really have to get to the bottom of what that's rooted in. Is it fear of rejection? Is it fear of failure? Is it fear of success? Okay. What is that root that's causing you to hold back? Because that's an excuse. Because listen, you can hire a VA, you can hire a housekeeper, you can hire somebody that meal plans for you, you can hire a nanny, you can hire different people out who can do things 80% as well as you, and you can release control of those things in order to focus on where you need to focus.
Right. And guys, we want to attract people, and listen, I love men, but I would say that anybody who follows me on social media knows that I want to empower women. That's who I'm looking for. And I want to empower strong women. I want to enable women who are already strong in their skill set, helping them develop their skills. So I have to show up as someone that person would be attracted to. Okay. How are you showing up as the person that your ideal business builder would be attracted to? Are you hiding? Are you not posting? Are you people pleasing? Are you worried about what people think? Or are you trusting the work that you've put in? Are you standing firmly on the foundation, knowing that you were brought to this fully qualified, knowing that you've got everything that you need, don't got to be afraid? Here's the deal. We sometimes forget how capable our people are. we forget that these people want it too. We feel like we have to apologize for when it gets hard. And that goes into what she talked about, rejection. And I freaking loved it. I took a million notes because here's the deal. The reason people don't go as far as they could in this business, and she nailed it, was the fear of rejection. They won't act in this the way they should or could or are equipped to because they fear rejection. And I like what she said. I loved this, and I'm going to use this all the time because that's what I do. I basically like take things I love and I feel like I'm going to apply it. But here's the deal, you guys. How can we help them get ready for the rejection they will face eventually? They will. How can we prepare them? Okay. It's inevitable. Everybody on this screen, if you haven't had any type of rejection yet, I'm assuming that you're brand new and you bought your welcome pack 5 minutes ago. Okay. And it's okay. We can sit in discomfort. And that's what she said too. We can't be afraid of the conversation because guess what? When we face rejection, we didn't run. Can we give them the props and the ability to be resilient? Instead of being so worried that they're going to be so fragile that they run away the minute that their, mother, brother, sister, cousin says that this is a pyramid scheme, can we let them, build a little tough skin? I don't remember who said that, but this business is thick skin, soft heart. I loved it. I loved that. I think it's absolutely true. So she was just, I loved all of the talk about the rejection because I do think it's a bigger piece of the puzzle than we talk about. And I love that it was the elephant in the room that she named it. I love that.
Yeah. Well, and what about, Sadie, you talked about it from a leader's point of view. How do we prepare our team members for that? How do you prepare yourself?
Yeah.
How are you preparing yourself? How are you preparing yourself for when a team member quits on you? How are you preparing? Hey, if you've been with me for a hot minute, you know that I'm not a Debbie Downer or anything like that. I am always, the cup is overflowing. It's not just half full. I am that. But how are you on your personal development journey preparing yourself? Because I guarantee you this, every leader that's gotten to the top has had a major leader leave them. And I'll say this, anyone who has got you to the level that you're at, that group of people is not really and probably necessarily the people that are going to get you to the next level. Okay, so the people that got you to Ruby are not going to be the people that get you to Senior Ruby. They're not going to be the people that get you to Emerald. And that is just rings true across probably any Jules business and things like that. So how are you personally developing yourself to deal with rejection? How are you developing yourself with comparison? Customer stops ordering, a team member quits, points go backwards, not maintaining rank, taking longer than anticipated to reach your goals. How are you preparing yourself? Let's open it up and let's have a little bit of discussion here. And even some leaders that I know are on the call, how did you deal with a team member quitting? What was the mindset that you had to do? Maybe there was a training, maybe there was a book, maybe there was something, but what's something that you do on a daily basis that just keeps you in a positive mindset, that keeps you in a spot where you're moving forward? Somebody want to jump in? Or we're going to call on you?
I'm not above calling yeah. It doesn't, my team specifically. Okay.
I don't care. I'll talk.
Okay.
So I struggle with this. Hi, I'm Gina. I'm from Julie and Corinne and Alyssa and Deborah's team. So I struggle with this all the time, and I find that I do get down on myself, and I retreat back when things are not going well and my points are dropping and people quit ordering. I take a step back, and I know that's horrible, and I have a hard time getting myself pumped up to keep going. But we have great leaders, and they keep pumping you full of, you can do this, you're a leader, you keep showing up and just keep trying. And then something will happen that will give you the spark back. you'll start having the people, by being consistent and keep trying. I think you have the people that come into your life, like have not been in it before, and give you the belief back in yourself that you can do this. Because I'm the person who puts myself down. I'm not meant to be here. That's me. Yeah, I've been doing this for 8 years.
So I was
Gina said she said the word consistent. Okay. And so I was literally like, if she doesn't say it, I'm gonna, because I want to point out that it's the activity of the daily showing up. So if something's happened to take you back and Gina's had to take, and she wants to retreat, here's the thing, you've got to lean into consistent activities. And I know it might be hard. Okay. Real feelings, real emotions. We're women. It's not a sin to have emotions. Okay. We're going to deal with disappointments. We're going to deal with that. So there's going to be feelings, there's going to be thoughts, but it's the how do I deal with this to get me through this so then I can lead somebody else to the other side as well. Because that's all about developing your leadership so that you can take somebody where you have gone. So you're going to have to go through tests and trials, okay, in all aspects of life. You're going to walk through things that don't feel nice and that are not nice to our flesh. And so it's in business, it's getting up again and saying, okay, I'm going to lean in to the consistent activities. I'm going to lean into reaching out to 3 people today. I'm going to lean into following up with people, even though I don't want to do it. I'm going to lean into those consistent activities because consistency is what will bring you out of that. And that's where you're going to see those people and those sparks rekindle.
Well,
yeah, and one other thing that we have to remember is them choosing not to do it or to stop. It's not about us. And I think too often I take it personally.
yes.
But I like the analogy when when you're out to dinner and a waitress asks you if you want dessert, if she says no, it's not about the waitress. You just don't want dessert. So trying to remember that it's not about me, it's about where they are, and it might not be their time. That's important to keep in mind as well.
Gina, I want you to think about this too and take this with you. Write this down. Oh, something just dropped. What are you making that rejection that you experience mean about where you're going? Because I think that's what's happening. That's why you stop moving, is that you're making that mean that you're not meant for this, that your business isn't valid, that, something is missing in you, or, so just really think about in those moments when you experience and you want to retreat. You said that. You want to retreat. Totally agree with what Leanne said about you need to lean into consistent action, but start thinking about what you're thinking about in those very moments. You kind of said it yourself. I'm not meant for this. You said that, I'm not meant, but what if instead you said what you kind of came back around to at the end of what they choose isn't about me. Right. And maybe if you can start, flexing those positive, those different thoughts, you won't feel like you need to retreat because you won't feel like you need to protect yourself, because that's what you're doing. You're just protecting yourself from more rejection, but just divorcing yourself from whatever they're choosing and your abilities, your capabilities, your leadership, where you're going, your future, all the things, keeping those 2 things separate, baby. Because you are meant for greatness, and just lean into it, like Leanne said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I see Alyssa on the call. I want to call on her. Alyssa, which one of these have you overcome yourself, and how did you do it? And how did you keep going? So pick one of these where it's like rejection, comparison, a customer stops ordering, a team member quits, points go backwards, not maintaining rank, taking longer than anticipated for your goals. Which one of these sticks out to you immediately that you yourself have overcome? And tell us how you did it and how you kept going.
So I would definitely say rejection. I think we had 2 emeralds at one time on our team leave. And then the following summer, 2 of my very close friends who were both Ruby and senior Ruby. So it was kind of it hit me and then it hit me again. And I took it super personally, thinking that they walked away from this and I thought we were friends and all this, not realizing that you know what, if someone quits Chick-fil-A and goes to work for Walmart, it's totally okay. You know, like you got to get over it and like not worry about it. But it was so personal because I think we had like wrapped, like our relationship was so not only personal, but like our families and all the things. So it actually took me a while to get over it. But seeing them and their business, and then they went on to quit the other business that they joined. Um, Not that it gave me validation, it like made me feel like, okay, maybe they regret that they left, you know, like, and I think that just through the years of it, it got easier as more and more, like when people would leave, because it's not like the first one really hurts, you know, but then as people leave, not everyone is going to make this a career like us and be like lifers that are like never ever going to leave, you know, like there's going to be people who decide that they're going to leave. So I think if you show up and you're consistent, and I have not been the best example of this in the past year, just with personal life and stuff, but I am being more consistent and showing back up. Um, but it is true, if you are not consistent and you do not show up, like you cannot, like it is more exhausting to fake like you're doing the things than to do the things.
Mhm.
Because if you're trying to like pretend you're showing up, like it's just exhausting and then you feel like a fraud, and like it's better to just step out, heal yourself, do what you got to do, and then get back in. So that's where I am.
Alyssa, I just want you to like let yourself, and maybe you have, but like, just like Mandy said it in the comments, she's on my team, but it is hard. Like don't tell yourself you shouldn't. You like when so I'm only saying this to you because you said I need to get over it. You're telling yourself that the way that you're feeling is wrong. Like literally anybody dealing with this would agree with you. It freaking sucks. It's hard, it hurts, it's like a death. It really is, right? And so just giving yourself that grace of being like, anybody in this situation would feel this way. Not believing you need to be stronger, not believing you could have done something, but just that her choice hurt you and that it's okay. Maybe you're fighting it. And I just wanted to jump in. I haven't met you formally, but I don't think. Your story matters. This is hard. It is real. And we all can understand. I think everyone on this call can understand how you're feeling, so.
No, definitely. I actually saw I was listening to a podcast this week, and she was saying that like when you've done a lot of self-development and a lot of reading, you have this like wellness perfection. So it's like you catch the thought and then you're like, nope, I'm not supposed to feel that way. And you try to like put it out your brain instead of realizing that like you have to be able to feel the feelings and like let yourself process it instead of just like putting it on the side. So I was like, oh my gosh, I think I do that all the time. So I think I need to do a better job of processing the feeling so that I can move on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. There's a formula to it. It sounds like you're doing a lot of, self-reflection in that way. So anyway, I don't know where we were in everything, Leanne. I know that I'll just move on to this. If somebody else has anything, raise your hand or make a comment. We'd love to, hear your thoughts as well. But I love what she said that, and I think we need to remember this too. Everybody who's kind of chimed in, that this is 80% mindset and 20% skill. And I think I remember having this really weird limiting thought when I started that like I needed to know spreadsheets. Like if I didn't know spreadsheets, there was no way I was going to be diamond. Like I thought that. Those were thoughts I had. It was very weird. And the truth is that I probably do use spreadsheets now, but I don't believe I need to, like, if that makes sense. I don't believe it's a necessity. So just remembering how important your mindset is of like, everything's figure outable. She said that everything is figure outable. And, if your mindset is just that we're going to get in and get it done, the skills will show up. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but One Plexus is a beautiful community where we find people with the skills, like lots of helpers. You'll always find the helpers in this community. And I love that.
I want to tell just a quick story, and I'm not telling on anyone, ragging on anyone or anything like that, but this literally just did happen. Okay. And an individual who had ranked Emerald a while ago, and end of the month, she was, let's say, I think it was 3 days before, maybe after subs went and everything like that, she was looking to re-rank Emerald, and she was at just over 1,400 points with 3 days left. And for me, I look at that and I'm just like, that's a non-negotiable. Okay. Like that's just a non-negotiable when you're less than 100 points from hitting a rank, especially at that level, when you've got some people working and things like that, when you're less than 100 points to re-rank Emerald, and you've got 3 days left in the month, that's where a leader can create excitement. A leader can create urgency. They create their own incentive to make it happen and things. And that's where, and if you're not great at creativity or different things like that, grab somebody who is. Grab a buddy, grab a sideline, grab an upline, grab somebody that can help you strategize to get the job done. Woke up the morning on the 30th yesterday and was at 14 by 7 p.m. Okay, 7 p.m. her time, she was at 1482, and she went to bed at 9:30, hoping that some orders would come in.
Okay, I just
And
had
she woke up.
I can't handle this.
She woke up this morning at 1498. But I'll tell you this, her mindset through the entire month was, I'm not going to re-rank. I won't re-rank Emerald. 3 days before, being less than 100 points, oh, I'm so far away, it's not going to happen. She spoke it into existence, okay?
Right.
And she went to bed 2 hours before midnight, 2 hours before midnight, hoping that just some orders would trickle in, okay? Life and death is in the power of your tongue, and what you have happening in your mind will come out of your mouth, and you will eat of its fruit, good or bad or anything. And so her mindset through the entire month was that she was not going to re-rank. And 3 days left, I'm really too far away. It's not going to happen. 7 p.m. This is what she said when she was 18 points away. Well, I still haven't hit it. I'm not there yet.
I can't even I'm like I'm gonna need to take it
Yeah.
like some kind of a
Can't
detox
even
bath
be there.
after this.
And I'm not trying, and it's nobody on this call or anything like that, but I'm telling that story just as an example of just, yeah, the power of mindset, the power of words, all of those things that happen. And when someone just, I guess, gives up on themselves when it's right there within reach. And so it's a complete mindset thing. And so the belief comes back to comes back to the power of belief, comes back to the power of belief in yourself. Man, I would go find my cousin, my sister, my aunt, my uncle. I would be finding people at 9 o'clock that night and be like, I'm sorry, you're just going to put this in for me. We're going to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it comes to kind of in closing, we've got to close this out and things like that. But it comes to, if you believe that you can, or you believe that you can't, it's true. You know that saying. And will you be a leader who is solution orientated or more focused on the possibility than problems? Are you going to focus on the belief of having that re-rank, or are you going to be like, no, it's way too far away? Nope, I still haven't made it. I'm 18 points away. Not sure where they're coming from. I don't know. I'm going to bed. So are you going to be a leader who's solution orientated, who's creative, who's going to get the job done? Or are you going to be focused on the problems? Possibilities or problems? What are you focused on? And is your team going to perceive you as that leader who is focused more on problems or possibilities? Now, sorry, I just got a little nudge inside here. And so I'm just going to say this as well. When you are in a negative space, who do you run to? Do you run to a sideline? Do you run to a downline? Do you run to an upline? Do you run to somebody that you're going to attract the same energy from and get the sympathy and get somebody kind of petting you and be like, oh, I know it's the same thing for me. Nobody's signing up at month end. I'm frustrated too. Blah, 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 blah. Who do you run to? Let me give you this piece of advice. Run to a leader who is going to smack you, who's going to slap you back into reality, and who is going to give you the pep talk that you need at the end of the month, at the middle of the month, at the beginning of the month. Okay. Do not go run into somebody who's going to agree with your negative attitude or your negative mindset. Okay. Have I been there? Have I vented? Have I had frustrations? Have I had ups and downs and all of those things? Yeah, we all have. But I'll tell you this, 100% of the time, I run to my leader who is going to speak positive into me, who is going to show me the positive things that are happening, who's going to speak me back into reality, who's not going to pet my negative mindset. Okay. And so, are you going to be that leader who is focused on problems or possibilities? And who do you run to when you're in that negative space? You better run to a leader who is going to speak you back into where you need to be.
Around our parts, we say that you need to be with a leader or a mentor that expects you to finish, period. Right? You need to be around people and be accountable to somebody who expects you to finish. And I think that that's really, really important, because they're either fanning your flame, fueling your flame, right? Or fanning or fueling your desire, or excuse me, fueling your desire, fueling your fear. Oh my gosh, Sadie, get it together. You know, definitely want to echo what Leanne said. Like, you have to be careful who's in your circle. It is the most important. It is the most important component. Our minds are our greatest asset. You have to protect it. Like, literally, get around people. I'm telling you right now, I surround myself with people who are doing better than me. I mean, literally, like, that's who I'm running with. That's who I'm sitting with. That's who I'm cozying up next to, are people that are doing better than me. That, and it's no offense to, I love everybody, right? But if I'm looking for mentors, I am running and chasing the example of women who are doing better than me. And that is my greatest advice. So you guys, this was awesome. Leanne, you killed it tonight. I loved it. Thank you so much for partnering with us to do this. Like, this is amazing. We will have the recording. I'm going to stop the, hang on.